Welcome to Wade and the Walter, the world's current smallest podcast. Thank you for watching or listening. You can find us on YouTube or Spotify. And yeah, welcome to the show. Got a special intro today for our inaugural episode and our very first guest on the show. He's a gentleman and a scholar. He has a jump shot that would make Mike Breen blush. He led his team in scoring last season and is a member of the 2022 Pac-12 preseason first team. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Stanford star Spencer Jones.
Lots of love for this dude, and I think it'll be cool to see if more people can get to know him, because I think he's a name that'll be pretty big this upcoming NCAA basketball season.
3 weeks. So
yeah, no, that's crazy. It's your senior year. Are you excited?
yeah, man, it's crazy to think it's just about done. Even though I still got the COVID year, but still,
I forgot you guys get that COVID year.
yeah, it's a nice little safety net if I want to use it.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, you ready to get started?
Yeah, man. Yeah. All on you.
All right. So I think I'm gonna start just because, man, the answer to this really should revolve around me, because no. But what is your favorite memory playing basketball outside of teaching me at a camp over the years? Outside of that,
That's interesting. Favorite memory? I could say winning a game. I'm gonna go with it was during COVID. We were hit pretty bad with COVID out here just because the restrictions out here in Santa Clara, San Francisco area were very strict. So we were, in fact, around that time, we were playing all our games in the G League arena for the Warriors. We were playing the Santa Cruz Warriors arena, and we were staying in a hotel out there. And, all our rooms were like secluded and everything. So it was just like, we were away from campus, away from, normal college life and stuff. So that took a big hit for us. But I'd say my favorite memory was, we played like 6 games there. And we ended up losing like a couple players, one for some like personal issues, another because they weren't handling the whole COVID situation well. So we're losing like two starters out of our 5. And then we're playing UCLA. At that time, they're probably ranked 15 or something like that. We had like no home court advantage, and we end up pulling that game out at the buzzer beater. And that was just nice. And then afterwards, we just all hung out together on like a beach nearby, and just kind of spent it that way. There was no partying, no anything. It was just a great team bonding moment for us.
That's it. So you guys kind of had like your own little bubble, like.
Yeah, no, like it was ridiculous. Like we were in that hotel it was just that all we were going to was the hotel to the gym. There was nothing really really else to do, because you're like an hour away from campus, so it's not like you can go back there. So it was just us. It was just the whole team together for about, I want to say a little over 2 months.
Jeez, wow. 2 months, like not on campus at all. You didn't get to go back to campus at all.
Not on campus. Everything was online.
Wow, that's nuts. But like that had to be good for chemistry and stuff though, like, and you guys just come together and just like even outside of basketball.
100%. No, it was much needed.
Yeah. Moving forward, as we're talking about that, so talking about favorite memories, so moving more so to the present. Obviously, last year you were your guys' leading scorer, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
12 points a game. And then towards the end of the year, you kind of had those like 2 breakout games where you started to get a little more national attention against Arizona State and Arizona, right? Because 28 back to back. And people were like, who's this tall, skinny ass light skinned dude? Hitting all the threes. And but so building off of that, because I know Stanford wasn't getting a ton of national attention last year until then. So building off of that, and with the guys you have coming back, I don't think you guys didn't lose too many people from last year, did you?
No, just one. Guys in the rotation. Yeah, we only lost one just because senior graduated and then decided to do a transfer. Do a grad transfer to San Diego. That's the only guy we lost, pretty much.
Okay, yeah. So off of that, what are your expectations for yourself and your team as a whole this season?
Yeah. For me, it's really just building off, I mean, it was even more than those last two games. For me, it was like the last eight. I think it was like 7 or 8 or whatever. I was on a good stretch, averaging 20 a game. In fact, we played Arizona before then. I had 22 there, but it was an Pac-12 tournament, and we weren't doing great. I mean, we were pretty much middle of the road. So, not too many people are gonna know about that. But yeah, like I said, last 8 games were like 20 a game. I was really in a groove for the last, what is that, like third, fourth of the season. So just really picking that back up. I mean, coaches after that kind of gave me free reign for those last games, and I was able to use that and carry that into the summer workouts, and carry that in the preseason. Like, they got full trust in me, so I can pull it almost from everywhere. But I'm not that type of player to take a bunch of BS shots. But no, for me, it's really just keeping that score and showing I can do that consistently over a course of the season, and just being that consistent player, that you need to be as a senior and as a leader for the team, so everybody has something to fall back on. As a team, I mean, it's been 4 years now. I gotta hit that tournament. I mean, we never would have known my freshman year. We were like 20-12, I think, or 21-12 on the bubble, but then COVID happened, so they didn't even come out with the bracket. So that was our best chance to make it. And then, it feels like every year we're kind of talked about as being a bubble team or being in the mix, like for the first, I'd say 2/3 of the season. And it's always that last third that we don't quite keep things consistent. So it's that's the biggest thing for us. But the difference with this team is that it's for my first time, it's more of an older team. It's mostly upperclassmen. My last couple of years, we've had a lot of one and dones, and I've started my freshman year and sophomore year, so I was an upperclassman. And then we had guys like Ty and Zaire, like I said, the one and dones, just young guys. But now we got that old team that, like, Stanford's usually known for. We're kind of known for having guys stick around for 4 years and even 5. So that's the thing. We got the experience now. So definitely tournament run. And I'd be surprised if we're outside top 4, top 5 in the pack. We definitely got the talent for it. So.
Oh yeah, no. What's up, you guys? And it almost reminds me of like your senior year at Miege, like going into that after Jeremiah left and everything, and then like a lot of people, just like the way they would talk, it was like they talk about Josh, who so like, and then Mark being the freshman phenom, stuff like that. Like, so almost with that, where it's like, because you guys have either a freshman or sophomore coming back this year that I know is being talked about a lot.
Yeah, Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison Ingram. Like, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to ask, but like, I mean, it's kind of a position you've been in before, where it's like you might not be getting as much recognition as you maybe deserve. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I mean, like, I know you didn't get the Stanford offer till they were coming to watch Mark or something. Yeah,
that's interesting. The Stanford offer, that's not how it happened. The Stanford offer happened actually after the season was over. In fact, most of my attention recruiting wise happened after the season was over. But yeah, a lot of that was, I didn't have the notoriety. I'm trying to think where to start with this. After my junior, your junior AAU season, which is usually your last season, I mean, I had a decent amount of offers, some D1s, but not anything I was particularly drawn to. In fact, going into my either junior or senior year, I forget when you fill out Common App stuff, but my parents had me fill out Common App stuff, because I had the grades to get into most schools. So, they had me fill out the Common App schools and just pick some schools that, I'd like to go to. And then those would be my borderline schools academically and stuff, like schools I'd like to go to, but I also, was pretty confident I'd get in.
Yeah.
And some of those I barely remember, but some of those schools were like the Arizona State because they had their honors Barrett's program or whatever, and then DePaul was one of them, and then some others. So that was like my baseline. So I wasn't going to take any basketball stuff unless the school was better than those.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I went into senior year and everything. And then I remember towards the end of the year, had the Northwestern coach. The Northwestern was on me for a little while. I had the coach come out. That was actually the game we lost against what's that team? Or in sub-state. First time in my whole
You guys didn't win state.
3 years. Yeah, that we didn't win state. So they ended up not giving me off and doing still wanted me to like walk on or something, but I wasn't doing that. So anyways, after that, I end up thinking like the post-grad year or whatever. So since I'm thinking that, I, play, think about playing AAU just for one more summer. And then, first weekend, I have a lot of coaches show up. It's like an 8:30 game. I'm rocking with Run GMC's like B team because there's no politics. I couldn't just show up and be on the A team. So they like told me I'd be on the A team, but just play this weekend on the B team. Yeah, but I'm rocking with their B team, and there's a bunch of coaches there because what I found out is that coaches knew about me. They just didn't see me play enough. So all it took was that weekend, played 2-3 or played like 4 or 5 games, did a little bit of everything. And recruiting just blew up from there, and I didn't have to play any more games. It was just blew up from there. And then Stanford came along with a lot of other Power 5 schools and ended up choosing them in like May. And it's funny thing is actually on my graduation, because on my graduation pamphlet, it still said undecided because I had not officially committed there before graduation. So that was pretty funny. But that's how that went. I was on a tangent there for a sec. What was about recognition? I've never really cared too much about it personally. For me, it's all about personal growth, and it is nice. I'm not going to lie. You do want it. Especially in times when you feel like, you're not getting the things you feel like you've earned. Like I felt I was better than people who were getting offers, my junior and senior year. And so that's where you want it. But in terms of when I got to college, for me, like right now, it's just about winning. Like that's the personal growth I want. Like when I first came, I was just happy to be here, and then I got on the court, and I was like, I got the starting position. And I was, I was as happy as could be. I could care less, how much media coverage or anything I wanted. And then, I could care less about all that. But then, as year progresses, you just want your personal growth. Obviously, I started my freshman year, so I want to do a little bit better next year, and then the year after that, and now this year, just want to be that consistent top scorer on the team, but also lead this team to some wins and actually get to the tournament, kind of show something, for these 4 years. So, but no, like playing with Jeremiah and Mark and all that, I've played with Jeremiah since. I've played with him for a long time, since like 4th grade. So like, I haven't never been used to being, the number one on a team. So I was always used to being the number 2, and, it just taught me a lot about being humble and, also just how to play with talent. And then the great thing about playing with Mark was that, it taught me how to take somebody with talent who may even have a little bit more talent than me, and how to integrate them and kind of, teach them the ropes and get them to, put the team in the best possible position to win. And, I'm doing a little bit of that with Harrison. We have great chemistry. Our games complement each other, and, I'm looking to do great things with them this year.
Yeah, that'll be great. To touch on, cause you kind of mentioned in there, and what interests me, and cause in general, a lot of people they'll look at basketball players, they don't really think about their brains and academics and stuff like that. You're one of the smartest people I've personally met. Like that was one thing, you were able to kind of convince me that it was still I should be taking my honors and AP classes and stuff and still hoop. What are you majoring in, and what about it is it that you like?
Yeah. I've always had the academic values instilled in me with my parents and everything. So that was, that was a non-negotiable thing for them. But in terms of my major, like I came in wanting to, I have like a little lineage of doctors. My dad's a doctor, grandpa was a doctor. So I had a little background in like, thinking, well, I wanted to do medicine or something like that, but I didn't really want to do all that extra schooling. So I was thinking something like bioengineering, but the reason I didn't stick with that was just because, basketball, I wanted to also, when I found out like I was kind of starting my freshman year, I kind of wanted to put a little bit more focus into that. So then I stayed with engineering. I'm in a major, it's called management science and engineering at Stanford. So I kind of call it I kind of joke around and call it Stanford's fancy business major because we don't have undergrad. We don't have business undergrad. But it is a little more than business. Basically, it's the study of management systems with that, it's like there's a lot of math in terms of how to run organizations and stuff like that. So my plan with that is, for 4 years, just probably do something in like tech consulting and something like that. But if I decide to stay a 5th year and do a co-term, which is like a 1 year graduate, 1 year like master's program, I'll probably do something like healthcare management and run hospitals and stuff like that. So I'm still undecided on where I'm going to take it, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm mentioning.
Yeah, that's cool. Going back to basketball, so like, and I kind of have a guess for your answer to this, but what matchup do you look forward to most in the year? And like, I mean, last year it looked like Arizona because every time you played them boys, you were just like, you're like that, like I'm going to go from here to here.
Yeah. Arizona is a nice one. That was actually the first time I played in their arena. That was last year. It was the first time I played in their arena that was actually full. So that experience was crazy. Like their fans go nuts. I always love UCLA. I always love playing at UCLA. Pauley, my coach always jokes around. It's a shooter's gym. I actually did not play well there this year. My freshman year, I played well there. My sophomore year, I don't think we played there, but yeah, definitely did not play well against them at their place, but then ended up playing well when they played here. But those teams, USC, really definitely all the California schools. Cal, just because it's our rival, but I'd say yeah, it's definitely UCLA. Always gives me a bit of an edge, and I'd like to, especially last year with Ju Zhang, having a similar playing style to me. I definitely wanted to see how I matched up with him, and that was kind of the big appeal to me for sure.
No, that's gotta be, and UCLA. It's UCLA, like
yeah, exactly.
It's UCLA, just historically great program. So like getting in, like, so we've kind of touched on both in intellect and basketball. So like, let's kind of look at the psychological aspect. What is it that motivates and drives you? Because like, I mean, and you don't get that jump shot overnight.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was always, it does come back a little bit to what you were saying in the recognition. It was always proving myself, like I think that was the best thing about playing behind Jeremiah for all those years. I always had somebody better than me. I always had something to strive for there. I could never really get complacent with all that. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't really think basketball was a college option until maybe like my sophomore year. So like for me, it was like I said, it was literally just about personal growth. Like it was just like, for me, it was like making these small goals. Like freshman year is just make the freshman A team. It wasn't even about varsity or whatever, and it was all about personal growth. And then, as like I said, as you get better and better, those goals just get bigger and bigger. And, but they're still, they're still attainable. So you're just really trying to work towards that. And that was the biggest thing that motivates me, is just keep reaching goals that you didn't expect, were possible 5 years ago, but, incrementally just getting better and better and better. Like that's the biggest thing you need to focus on. Don't make them too much out of reach, but keep them close enough, but, keep them far enough, but still like close enough to, to be able to actually see yourself getting there, pretty quick. So
yeah. Freshman A team. Hold on. I didn't know. I think I remember. I don't remember. I was like in middle school, but like the first time I went to your guys' camp,
yeah.
because they sent out the invites to like the CYO players who they thought were
Yeah.
decent. And like I came there, I remember Coach Z said something like about you, like just like when introducing us, like about your shooting and stuff like that. I didn't know that like your expectation, you're like, I just want to make a freshman A team.
That was it. That was it, man. Yeah, that was it, man. Yeah, I was on freshman A team. It was funny. Freshman year I was on freshman A team, and Zeke kept telling me, hey man, I might pull you up to JV, I might pull you up to JV and all that. Never did, but kept telling me that. And then sophomore year I played a little bit of both. But yeah, no, it was it. I never took myself too seriously as a well, I wouldn't say I didn't take myself too seriously, but I didn't have that high of an expectation yet because I hadn't thought I'd proven myself there. So I said, just let me prove myself where I can be. And I knew I was better than, almost all the freshmen. So I was like, yeah, let's start there.
That's crazy. I mean, like, I guess you are one of the more egoless people I've met. Like I didn't realize like that sense of ego, like wasn't there like at all. Cause I mean, just you have to like the noise for me, like just the people I was around and just all talking about, oh, blah, 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 yeah, blah, blah, blah. It was like, to me, it was like JV or bust. Like I have to play JV pseudo varsity my freshman year. And like, I didn't even know you played freshman A team your freshman year. I thought you played
a lot of people assume it was all 4 years, but no, I only have 2 rings. Yeah, I only have 2 rings. Yeah, 2 state rings. So yeah.
That's surprising. I mean, well, you're giving hope to every guy that plays freshman team basketball right now.
Yeah, I mean, a decent part of it was a little bit of a growth spurt, but it was also a
little bit,
got a lot better over the years.
So I guess, but yeah. So outside of basketball, kind of like what hobbies or interests do you have?
Yeah, for me, honestly, since coming to California, it's been a lot of outdoorsy stuff. I love to get out. Like I'll always go to the beach with a bunch of guys. Love going hiking. Great thing about California, you got almost everything within hour or so. You can go, beach, mountains, and all that stuff. A little bit into art and music, but it's just like not, it's not. Can't have too many hobbies when you're balancing this degree in basketball. But no, I paint, draw a little bit on my free time. Put some stuff on the walls in my dorm. And then music wise, it's more listening to music than making anything. But just I'm one of those guys who always has an updated playlist every week. Has not like very specific vibes. I like to listen to. But yeah, no, I mean, other than that, it's a pretty big devotion to basketball. So that takes up like 90% of the time.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, do you have like a painting or drawing with you? I didn't know you like.
Yeah. Here, I can flip the camera real quick. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't start really getting into it until I wouldn't even say I'm really that into it. How do I flip this camera? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a room right there. And then there's a little another one right there. It was like last two I worked on, but yeah, once season starts, I don't really.
Once season starts, there's no time for art.
There's barely time for it now. There's barely time for it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, that's just something for me, just to like. Honestly, sometimes I do it during season, but for me, it's just like time to clear my mind. It's a great time to get those voices that you were talking about out, and just kind of keeps you in the present, keeps you, just keeps your mind right, because that's once you get to this level, like. The skill difference between guys is, just gets smaller and smaller the higher and higher you get. So the mental side just becomes more and more important. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is for me. Just the time to just get mentally stable.
Yeah. I mean, everyone who's D1, they're playing D1 basketball, like high major D1 basketball. They're playing it for a reason. It's like, so that gap, it does have to come from that mental side. Like, so I get that. Like, I mean, Kobe obviously always talked about that. And stuff. Let's see. And we have Christian calling people bitches on national television because of that.
It's nice to have that fire in game. Like I've always respected him for that. Like he does not back down from nobody. And that's a great personality to have during the game. So No, I can. I mean, obviously, it's not great to see yourself doing it on camera, but no, I get it. I get it for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I will for sure. But so okay, the next question on here. What do you want to do like after college or pro basketball? Like,
Yeah. I mean, if I could definitely choose, it would be that kind of like what I was talking about, that fifth, if I took that 5th-year option, that kind of because I've been around, like I said, I've been around medicine for so long. It's just it's just something I'm very familiar with, a little bit comfortable with. So I want to be, healthcare manager, want to be like running hospitals because, shadowing my dad for so long, I've seen all of like the organizational problems with healthcare management or with healthcare, and like how the system is, it's very, very, very much flawed, and how like certain hospitals, like when you walk in, it's like, it takes forever. It takes forever to get checked in. It takes forever sitting in waiting rooms, and you're in like, you're all naked in a fucking like, like half cut off like, little dress or whatever. There's just so many things that could be fixed with just how hospitals run, and then how accessible healthcare and all that is. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot to be done there. So that's kind of what I can see myself doing, and that's kind of what I want to be doing. So
yeah. Where would you like? Would you like come back home to like start doing that, or would you stay out in California? Like, what do you think for that?
Yeah, I've always thought about where I'd end up. I could definitely see myself coming back home later. Like I'd probably say like, late 30s, 40s, but for like for like my 20s and 30s, I want to, stay out, away from Kansas. I don't know if that's California. Pretty expensive here. I love it, but it's very, very expensive. But for me, it's just somewhere else. Just get another experience somewhere else. But if it ends up being home, I wouldn't be too upset.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to you coming back a little more often, but yeah. Speaking of doing stuff outside in Cali, next time I go down there, I'm gonna make you come on a hike with me because I like going out.
That's fair. That's cool. I'll take you on something. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. So next, who is your favorite player ever?
Like, is this the GOAT conversation? Is this favorite player to like
your
watch?
Your favorite player, not GOAT. GOAT, we know it's Jordan, and I'm not talking to you about that any further if you disagree.
Favorite player. I'd have to say Ray Allen personally. There was like the first player I was ever like really big on and really focused on, and I first came to him like back in like 2008 when he was on the Celtics. But then after seeing him there, I'd even looked further on when he was back on the Milwaukee Bucks, that not too many people know about because they just see him as like that spot up 3 shooter. But I liked him because I took a lot of drills from him, a lot of the focus, the consistency, and the little details he put into his shot. And that's what helped me kind of create the mindset of being a shooter. And I really try to emulate his game, and then from then on, I tried to emulate guys who emulated his game, like Klay Thompson, and who's a guy I really, really look at these days. And now, remember, I looked at Buddy Hield, and now trying to emulate my game around like guys like Desmond Bain, who all kind of originated from from Ray Allen, and looked at him kind of growing up as well. So I definitely say he's definitely a favorite. He's definitely up there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, your play style kind of gives it away. I think you might play a little more defense than Ray did. You might play a little more defense.
Yeah, a little bit, but he wasn't too bad. He wasn't too bad when he was younger and more sprightful.
Yeah, whenever he had a little bounce in his step.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually no. This might not. This might hurt some people's feelings. If I end up sharing this to anyone. Who's your favorite teammate you've ever had? Anyone from grade school to high school to AAU to college? Who's favorite teammate ever? You can only pick one.
I gotta go college on this one. It's this he just graduated last year. It's Sam Beskin. He was a year older than me. The reason he was my favorite is because by the time I came to college, I thought I had a great work ethic, but coming here, like he just completely blew me out of the water. Like everything this guy did, he did to be better at something, whether that was school, whether that was basketball. He was on a strict schedule of like waking up at 5 a.m., doing homework before he even got to lift at 7, and straight to classes. And then he did a workout before practice, would play his absolute hardest at practice, go back, do homework, come back to the gym, all that. And his eating habits were crazy as well. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this man eat like a cupcake or any like sugar or anything like that. He was chiseled like nobody else. But he was a walk-on. He didn't have the skill of anybody, of us. So like we would do better. We'd play better than him in practice. We'd play more in the games and everything. But he never lost that devotion, never lost that work ethic. And that, him being older than me, coming to that, I always tried to emulate it best I could. There was no way I couldn't, because he was just on a different level of just mental focus and mental preparation and all that. But no, he definitely changed the way I worked, changed the way how I saw work, and all the things you can do to be a better basketball player outside of basketball. And he was the best teammate. He always knew what to say when I wasn't playing well. Was always there to get a workout in and all that. And no, he was absolutely the hardest worker I've ever met in my life, easily. So yeah,
that's high praise. Like, well, that's very high praise coming from you. You've played with some very talented individuals, and like hardest worker, like just in general that you've ever met. That's high praise. I mean, you've like, even outside of basketball, you're someone who you surround yourself with good people with good work ethics. And so that's high praise. That says a lot about him to me.
Yeah, no, it's no question. Hardest work.
All right. This one's a little more goofy. If you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Superhero. Oh. It feels a little cliche to pick Black Panther, but I don't know, man. Like king of the most, the richest place in the world. Got one of the best suits in Marvel. I'm a big Marvel guy as well. Yeah, it's got to be Black Panther easily.
Vibranium. Yeah, I can't go wrong with vibranium.
Nah.
I'm a Miles Morales is mine, but like.
See, that was my second. But Spider-Man just goes through too much, man. That man just goes through too much.
That's
yeah, like, man has too much stuff happen to him.
That's very true. Yeah, Spider-Man really does go through it though. Like
that makes him a great character, but I ain't going through that.
Great character. I don't want to be you. But Peter has it worse. Like Miles, it's like slightly better.
Yeah, it's still better, but like, being Spider-Man, like they're just gonna put you through stuff, man.
No, I kind of have a theory with that. Like the writers just hate Spider-Man. Like I don't know. They're like, guys, this is how we make him relatable. Okay, no money. Okay, his girlfriend's gonna break up with him. No money. Oh yeah, he lost his job too. Got evicted. Oh yeah, now he has to fight the Sinister Six. All right.
Exactly.
That's a complex movie.
Exactly. Just put him through the most adversity you can.
Yeah. Here. Okay. For this last one, because this will probably take longer than 3.5 minutes. I'm gonna end it and send you a new link.
All right, cool. I'm gonna hit a quick little bathroom break real quick, and I'll just give me like 2 minutes.
All right, cool. Let's see.
All right, let's get this last question in. I gotta hit dinner. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah.
All right, real good.
Okay, so this is the last question, because I think this would be like the most important question just in general. Yeah. But who is your personal hero, and what qualities do they have that make you look up to them?
Oh, personal hero. I'd honestly have to say my grandfather. Reason for that is he was definitely the patriarch of the family. He definitely is kind of was seen as the head of the family. Passed away about 2 years ago. But the reason for that is he started the whole, like I said, there's a lineage of doctors. He was the one who started that. And at the time, obviously, he was born in the 20s. So, obviously there's all that, racial divide going on, and, moved his family to KC. Grew him up in KC, and he became. Oh, he was a lot of firsts in the medical community. He was like the first doctor to be integrated in the white hospitals in the Kansas City metro area. A bunch of other, but first doctor I think to operate, first Black doctor to operate on a white man. And the crazy thing is, found out all this after he passed. Like I found this through other people. He was not the one to receive or want to receive all that praise and admiration. He was very content with just being a family man, hanging out with his grandkids, coming to see, my games all the time, loved watching me play, and no matter what sport it was, baseball, everything, and I always knew him as this. I always knew he was very well known in the community because everywhere we went, it felt like always had people come up and say, how great a man he was, and like little excerpts and stuff. And I always be like, I guess he was well known, but it's crazy, and I came to think of why, like, he never wanted to. I don't think he ever wanted to be the first, but he kind of wanted to make sure he wasn't the last. Like he was always, like I said, it really pushed education to be a foundation of the family, and that's how my dad was able to really embrace education and go to Harvard, and that's how my uncle who went to Stanford and really just like put us on a generational path. And then it's something you appreciate much when you get much older. So that's why that's why I'd say he's my hero.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely passed down a lot of traits to you based on what you said, and I mean, I know like when he was here, he was very proud of you, and he'd still probably be proud of you and be like, just like beyond excited about everything you're doing, not only on the court but off the court. And what's his first name? What's
Herman Jones Jr. is his full name.
Herman Jones Jr. Yeah, because like, I mean, I didn't know about any of that, but that's like super cool. Like, I mean,
it was crazy reading about it in the obituary. Like he always would say a couple stories that hinted at it, but I was kind of younger at the time, so like it's like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, maybe should have paid a little bit more attention.
Yeah,
you're a kid at the time. You're not thinking too much about this stuff.
Yeah, but yeah. All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Spence.
No problem, man. And I appreciate you reaching out. All right.
But yeah, it's always good to talk to you, and I'll definitely holler at you next time I head out down there. Do you guys have any games near like Kansas this year?
This year, I don't think so. Yeah, because usually like for seniors, they try to plan games near where they're from. But I had freshman year already had been to Kansas with that tournament, so they didn't worry too much about it. And then the other two seniors one's from LA and one's from here, so like they don't even have to worry about that. But I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anybody that close. Like I feel like the only Midwest game we have is Wisconsin, and that one's kind of cool. That one's at the Brewers Stadium. I think that's the only one we have in the Midwest. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have to be a road trip. I don't know. Well, figure it out.
But yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna head out. I gotta get to dinner and then get started on some work for tonight. But no, man, I enjoyed doing this. I appreciate you reaching out, and anytime you need something, just let me know.
Yes, sir. Always good talking to you. Love you, bro. I'll talk to you later.
You too. All right, I'll see you.
All right. That was Spencer Jones, a senior basketball player at Stanford. And thank you guys for watching. I guess, let me know if you want to see anything else like this with other players. I have a few people in mind that I might try and reach out to, see if they want to hop on and do a little interview. But yeah, thank you, Spencer, for giving me your time today. And all right, see you guys next time.